have a question. How many masks do you have? I'm not talking about Halloween masks. I'm not talking about COVID masks. I'm talking about masks that people put on depending on their surroundings or who they're around or the environment they're in. People wear different masks. Not everyone, some people. So how many masks do you have?
Comment below. I want to see how many masks do you have.
Are you a different you when you're at work? Are you a different you when you're at church? Are you a different you in front of your kids and your family?
Different you in front.
Are you a different you in front of certain types of friends? What how many? If you're different in those different scenarios, then you have masks.
Yeah, I can agree. How many masks you got?
I don't have no mask. I used to have masks, but I don't have no mask now. So what you see with me, that's what you get.
Absolutely, that's how it is now.
It used to be where I was like, okay, I gotta have this version of me when I'm at home, and I got this version of me when I go to work. Yeah. Because I can't be myself because I don't know if they're gonna accept me in my industry acting the way that's how I used to be. But at a certain point, I was like, well, they gonna treat me in a certain way, the way they treat me or think about me, what they think about me, regardless. So why not just be the authentic me? So I learned that kind of quickly, and at that point, I was like, hey, you just gonna get what you get with me. Like exactly how I am on this video. That's how I am everywhere. At church, at work, in the store, with my family. It's just me. And it's so freeing not to have to hide behind any type of mask. You don't have to worry about those, hey, what image I got to show here? And then these people looking at me one way and these other people, look at me different if they find out that that's what I was like over here. No, just be yourself. Just be who God. And when I say yourself, I'm talking about the real you. The you that God created, not the you that been formed by the world. And they say, I got to live by the world standard. No.
By the street code.
Yeah, the you that God.
What was this? I say about the street code.
What is it? No. Street code. It's Black Power.
No, but I'm sorry, but look, I think about the mask I used to wear when I was young, where I wanted to fit in so bad. And I'm like, I got to do everything those girls are doing. I got to dress like them, talk like them, everything. So I had about 50 masks because I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how do they, go about when they walk into the school, what do they do? I'm trying to figure it out. So when I'm with them, I was a whole different person. Then when I came home, I was a regular person, but sometimes I was just a sweet girl. But I just had so many masks. At some point when I realized that at the time those girls was like really terrible friends, and I realized that
you can't please everybody.
I can't please everybody. When I was in middle school, I got over that. It was something that broke off of me of wanting to be a people pleaser. And now in my 40s, I'm like, you probably should have called me if you really wanted me to care.
You said someone wants you to care.
Yeah, like you know how some people, well, you shouldn't act like this. You should have this. You should. And you know what? Even when I get somebody that correct me about how I talk, and because I do talk country sometimes and say incorrect English, I don't even get upset about it. I'm like, they just trying to help me. But if they had intentions on trying to embarrass me or try to make me feel low, they should have caught me when I was in middle school. Because at this point, I'm like, I'm already confident in God. It's a little too late to try to bring me down so I can put on a mask. Because it ain't finna happen. That's how you can be so unbothered when you going through a storm, because you with God. And I know that just putting on a mask, I believe, is exhausting because I've already did it. I did it in middle school and I was exhausted, y'all. I was exhausted. And I got tired of trying to be like, well, what are they going to think about me? Well, if I do this, and then it's like you start having paranoid. You just be paranoid in your thoughts. You be like, well, I mean, are they going to be mad because today I wore a skirt and they in a windsuit and they told me that we supposed to have pictures and I forgot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so freeing, just like you said. It's freeing to be able to sit down and just be like, you know what? I'm going to be myself whether they like me or not. I'm going to freely be myself. And if they choose to love me and like me, That's great. But if they choose to have a problem with me, that's their problem. It's not mine, because my responsibility is to love them regardless if they like me or not. Mm-hmm. So you have to do the same thing. But the confidence that we have, it came from God. I love myself. I do have, I have high self-esteem because of who God created me to be, but it's not all in myself. It's in who God has, what God told me about myself. The fact that he knows the number of hairs on my head is still amazing to me. He knows the number of hairs on Tony's head, and I'm his wife. I don't know that. So I just want everybody else to see and stop being people pleasers, because that was something I had a problem with. I was like, I gotta please everybody. Okay, what do they want? That's not healthy.
Have you ever wore the wrong mask around the wrong person? And you're like, oh, forget it. I'm just thinking about it. Like, just think about it. You're like, I'm gonna act this way, and then you stuck in whatever acting mode you in for that group, and then you would around other people like, oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to be acting this way towards them, and then that's a lot of work.
It's too much. It's exhausting. And then you want, like, when you get home, you're tired. You're so exhausted. You sleeping all day, and then next thing I'm only speaking for myself. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, I got to go back to school tomorrow. And even it was a lot of, even sometimes I had peer pressure where, I would have like guys, and they were like, you not, basically I wasn't black enough in some situations where they would be like, well, you look at the house you stay in. Y'all folks got money, and you don't know nothing about this. It's like they would do like reverse psychology to make you believe like you got this, you got that. And then I'm trying to be cool. So if they smoking weed, it's me, my boyfriend, and me, all my friends. Everybody knows about smoking weed, rolling up. And I'm like, I'm literally green. And they would call me, they would say, man, you so green. Tab, you green. And in my mind, I'm like, but I don't want to be green. Really? I need to know. And so I would try to be hip, and I would try to fit in. And I'm like, well, yeah, and go out in certain neighborhoods and try to get my black card back again. It was revoked 1,500 times. So I'm like, I need to be, and now I don't care. I don't care if they accept me.
You know what?
I don't care about that.
Most of the youth stuck in that. If you think about it, most of the youth is, speaking out here, I guess, I guess I won't say all of the youth. A lot of the youth are in this situation where they're in circumstances, they're living lifestyles that they don't even have to live.
Absolutely.
They repping a set groups or whatever, or neighborhoods that they don't even have to. They got behavior or certain things they doing that they don't even have to do. They're growing up in some nice environments, but their mind is saying, I gotta fit in with other people, and they're choosing the wrong lifestyle because I want to fit in with everybody else. And they got a mask on. And the biggest thing, I guess the weirdest thing about it is they're faking their lifestyle while claiming they keeping it 100. While claiming they keeping it real, but that's not even them.
But the reason why they can't even trust people too, you got to think about it. If you have a mask on, it's going to be so hard for you to trust people, because you know that you go out there and you be fronting or you be lying to people as it presenting something that you're not. So it makes you paranoid. It makes you just be like, I can't trust people, because since I go out in a mask and I pretend, now I feel like everybody pretends. And that's a trick of the enemy. So what you have to do, you have to make a decision. Am I going to live my life to be pleasing to the world, or am I going to live my life to be pleasing to God? I did not know that at the time when I made a decision to say, you know what, forget it. They're going to talk about me anyway, so I might as well do what I want. That was still, I went in the will of God, because what I want is, my natural flesh is dangerous to me. It's dangerous to the kingdom of God. But see, now I love people. I love people, but I don't care. I don't care in the sense of, well, no one can out pressure me to be with the devil or with the world. You know what I mean? So when I say I don't care, I'm not talking about I don't care about people. I love people. I want to serve people. That's what we're here for.
We're not going to fall to the peer pressure of you looking strange and you looking weird because you talk about Jesus or you speaking in tongues.
Right.
You know, that type of stuff, you just have to think what you think, you know.
I think they should have called me when I was in the middle school if they wanted me to care.
I ain't never care about stuff like that. I guess because because like I said, I ain't gonna say I ain't never care about it. I didn't care about it as a kid.
Yeah.
But when I got into the professional world, that's when it kicked in, and I was like, man, what they gonna think? You know, I look this way. I gotta be professional. I gotta be smart. It's all these things I gotta do. But like I said, after a while, I saw, well, they gonna treat me the way they treat me anyway. So what's the purpose of me doing that? But as a kid, I didn't have an issue because I didn't fit into a lot of things as a kid. So it was like I was already used to it.
What about the I guess having pride? Do you feel like that's a mask when somebody has pride and they like, I'm gonna figure it out myself. I ain't gonna ask for help, even though they mortgages due and they don't have any money. Instead of them having humility and saying, you know, I need to borrow like $600. My mortgage is due. I messed up this. You know, I messed up my funds. I went and had fun. Instead of making a budget and keeping my end of the deal with paying my mortgage, instead of having humility, they got pride. They have so much pride that they don't even ask for help. Instead of depending on God, one, to walk you through and saying, no, baby, don't do this. That's what God will be saying. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things is pride, because it's so much damage that come with pride.
Yeah.
But yeah, pride is
another mask.
It shows up in the form of a mask, because most of the time when, you know, we've all experienced or had pride in something. And most of the time when you have pride in something, it's overcompensation for a deficit in another area. So it might be that, hey, I got pride in, I make money. I got great business, great job. I'm making money. I'm doing this. And so at that point, you might be boastful. Man, I got this. But it might be that you trying to compensate for something like, but I ain't got no relationship with my kids. Like my baby, I don't even see my kids that much. They in a whole nother town, or I ain't good. I ain't been in their lives, but I don't want to admit that. I don't want people to see that. So I'm gonna be bragging about this.
Yeah.
Or somebody that might be having prideful in their looks. And they're like, I look good, I this, and they got pride for that, but they treat their spouse horrible.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just so many different things, like materialistic things. Somebody might have pride with all the materialistic things they have, but it, like I said, it might be something else that they have a deficit in. It might be like, I got all this stuff, but I still feel empty.
Yeah.
I still feel void, like something missing. And since I don't like the way they make me feel, that I don't have peace in my life, I'm gonna just go even harder to show it materialistic things. Right. So like normally when you have pride in something, it's trying to cover up a deficit in some other area in your life. But that's where you have to be honest with yourself and be like, I'm tired of doing this, knowing that I have this deficit somewhere, and start seeking a relationship with God and asking God to heal you in that area, strengthen that area so you don't have a deficit or a void in that area. And at that point, you will start noticing that pride fall up off you in that area, because you're being humbled enough to tell God, I know I got these things, I got this, I got that, but I'm suffering in this area over here. I need your help. I can't do it. My mind can't get me through it. I'm proudful in my intellect, but my intellect can't help that situation. You gotta be humble enough to ask God for help.
Yeah.
God, I got all this money, but my money can't bring me peace. Ooh. My money can't help my money can't get me the health I need. I'm paying doctors and doing whatever, but my health is still declining. At that point, you start humbling yourself and asking God for real. At that point, your pride gonna start falling off the other areas, because you're bringing yourself to God and you're humbly asking Him to help you.
I think that's sad though. Like when people have so much pride, and it's like they won't ask for help from the Lord, but then you see them keep going over the same thing it's like, okay, this year, we're having this issue, and then okay, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. Same time next year or next year, they got the same issue. And it's all based on pride. But pride sometimes, it hides itself as something else. It's like, well, yeah, you deserve this. You're supposed to have this. You're supposed to have that. When God is like, we all deserve death. Like, what you talking about? But pride will have you blown all the way up, thinking that it's you and it's not God, and then you're not giving God the glory. Or it's some secret sin. I've seen this too, where people, they'll have this secret sin, and it's like, well, nobody knows. But then the way Satan do things, a lot of people probably already know that you're dealing with it, because he's not going to let you have a secret sin without him exposing you and embarrassing you. So you might as well just go to God and be like, God, I'm struggling with this sin, and God, get this pride up off me. Asking for help is one of the biggest things, especially from God, is one of the things that you should do. And don't trust in your own understanding. Trust in the Lord.
That's right.
God will be the one to help you throughout every single situation. There's nothing new under the sun. God can help you.
You know what? I wonder, probably is like, they're probably people in situations, and we could have easily been those individuals as well. So it's not like we're better, where they have the mask on so long, they honestly think it's them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They think it's them, and it's because the devil done twisted it. An example of that, I'm just thinking about it, would be, say you have someone who they're known to be short-tempered, ready to shoot off on somebody, ready to cuss folks out, ready to fight, ready to do any of these things, and it's just like they present it so much to the point to where everybody just know this, they just think that's them. Even so much so that person says, that's me.
Yeah,
that's me. You know me. That's me. That's what I do. Or, and they start adopting that identity and accepting that's really me. They got a mask on. They don't even know that the mask is a mask. It's like, that's my face now. That's me. They really think they accept it. They think that's them because the devil done tricked them. Like, no, this you.
And Satan like, yes, that's why I say it. Confess it. Say it.
He got you like, that's you. And it is like, God is like, no, that's not what I created. God is not creating people to be out here terrorizing people.
Yeah.
So that's how you know that's not really you.
Right.
God made us all here to love each other.
Yeah.
So if you out here terrorizing people, that's not the real you. You may think that's me. I've been like that since I was a kid, terrorizing folks, fighting folks, doing whatever. That's not you.
Right.
It's just the devil done got in you to the point where you was young, sowed that seed in you, and it just still going.
Right.
But you got to be able to say, you know what? I honestly believe this is not who God created me to be. God didn't create me to be out here hurting other kids that are God's kids. He didn't create me for this. So at that point, like I said, I bet there's a lot of people who got a mask on, got plenty of masks, and then some of them, they accepting this. That ain't even a mask. That's me.
Yeah.
And that's not, but it's not you. If it's anything from the devil's kingdom, any of the I guess the results of being in the devil's kingdom, that is not you. Right. That is not the real you. If you out here got pride in fighting folks, pride in cussing folks out, pride in getting over on people, pride in stealing stuff from people, pride in hurting people, any of those type of things, that's not the real you. You might even be considered yourself good at doing them, but that's not the real you.
Yeah.
That's not the real you.
That's not who God called you to be. He didn't let you come to this earth. He said you're a solution to his kingdom.
That's right.
And
not a problem.
He don't want you to be a problem for his kingdom, because you don't want the wrath of God on your life. You don't want it. And then you wonder why you see so many people that accept what Satan is telling them and walk in that and just going around doing crazy stuff and terrorizing people. You start seeing the curses fall down on their kids. It's literally there in your face. And it's like, oh my goodness, God. So I pray that if you feel like you're wearing a mask, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Are you wearing a mask? Are you unknowingly wearing one? Yeah, because the way you can identify it is just like Antonio said. Okay?
I give an example for me. I know when I was in my teenage years to early 20s, during them particular time frames, growing up, most young boys got other friends, y'all thing is, hey, you need to try to get as many girls as you can. You know, have sex with many girls as you can. Try to see if you can get money from them. Just different things. At that point, I start adopting that identity and saying, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm hearing it from my friends, hearing it from, you know, my brother. He teaching me too, hey, because he's going through the same. Hey, this is what you do. So at that point, this is what you do. So I got a mask on, not even knowing it's a mask. Because that ain't who God created me to be. But I got that mask on, like, that's what I do. I go out here, try to talk to girls, get their numbers, get with them, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I had to realize that is not who God created me to be.
Right.
All the hurt and pain I'm causing to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And stuff I'm messing. I'm like, there's no way God wanted me to be this guy. There's no way. For real. He didn't want me to be this guy. Like that version of Antonio, that's not who God created me to be. Yeah. But you have to be honest with yourself to say, am I living the way I'm supposed to be living? Am I supposed, this is not the right version.
Right.
Version of me. You know, so at that point you can be like, but you have to be mature enough to just think about it. Just self-reflect and be like, is this the real version of me? Yeah. Or is this a fake version that done been molded by other people?
Yeah.
But I don't know, do we have anything else?
That's it. I was just wanting to, I guess it's kind of like you said, where the fake version of you. God is looking to, what do you always say about the future?
Oh, the future you is waiting on the present you to get to work so that person can exist. But like I said, that future you is multiple versions of that future you. Yeah. There's a version that God has for you, future, and then there's our version that's been, you know, twisted by our own mind or twisted by the devil. Yeah. Which version you gonna be? Which version of the future you gonna be of yourself? Yeah, comment below. Let us know. What are you gonna do? We got how many more months in 2024? What is it? It's July, so we got 5 more months. We got 5 more months. Well, actually, counting this month, 6. But what version are you gonna be? Are you gonna say yes to Satan, what he's telling you are? If he's telling you all this negative stuff about yourself, you need to start rebuking him. What version are you gonna be? Comment below. We want to hear from you. Bye, y'all. All right, bye.